Welcome on the pure wisdom ones. Fear the person who does not seek attention but commands it just by being there. This is a fact. The most dangerous characters throughout history were not the loudest. They were the ones whose mere presence could change the vibe of a room. Science backs this up. Psychologists refer to it as dominating presence syndrome, which is the unique capacity of certain people to influence others without saying anything. And guess what? You're one of them. Being a chosen one, however, does not imply possessing a dazzling badge of fate or a superhero cape. Let's be honest, the cape would be nice. It is about embodying a force that others cannot ignore, no matter how hard they try. It's the reason people hurl shade at you without notice. It's why your detractors follow your every move like unpaid detectives, hoping you'll fail. Yet you never do. But here's where things become interesting. You didn't ask for this authority. You became it. And this is what makes you genuinely dangerous. The knowledge that you were picked not by chance, but with tenacity, perseverance, and the type of dedication that converts barriers into stepping stones. So brace up, because what you're going to find isn't only why your gift makes your detractors flee. This is why they should have begun running a long time ago. Number 1. Your existence serves as a mirror that frightens the vulnerable. Most people do not fear what you do. They are afraid of what you are exposing. Without saying anything, you push individuals to face aspects of themselves that they would prefer avoid in your company. Their explanations sound weaker, their fears become louder, and their comfort zones seem to be prisons. It's not because you want to intimidate someone. You're just living evidence that more is possible. And it is scary to everyone who has settled for less. Your ambition, confidence, and perseverance operate like a mirror, reflecting back everything. Some wish they could be. This is why some people get uneasy when you achieve. They're not concerned about your achievements. It's a reminder of what they might have accomplished if they had worked harder. They know they're capable of more. But watching you flourish pushes them to face the reality. They chose comfort whilst you chose advancement. That reality hurts, and instead of confronting it, they focus their fury onto you. This is why some individuals will criticize you, not because you have done anything wrong, but because they need to explain their own stagnation. They will claim you are too much, too confident, or too ambitious, because identifying you allows them to overlook their own regrets. But here's the catch. They are unable to look away. Even while they criticize, they keep a tight eye on you, silently wishing you fail, because it would reinforce their idea that success is out of reach. But every time you stand, you dispel that illusion, leaving them with just their own reflection. This is what makes you dangerous. Not your words, not your acts, but your very presence as live evidence that restrictions are a choice. And it is a reality that most people are not prepared to confront. So they fled, not because of what you've done to them, but because of what you've triggered inside them. They realize they are capable of more, and the dread that they will never have the fortitude to go for it. Number 2, isolation is the cost of advancement. Being selected comes at a price that most individuals are unwilling to pay. Loneliness, not because you're hard to love or comprehend, but because few people can bear the intensity of your journey. Growth necessitates sacrifice, and the higher you rise, the thinner the air becomes. Not everyone is designed to breathe at that level. Some begin the trek beside you, but as the route becomes steep and the air becomes thick, they fall back. It is not out of malice. They just lack the stamina to keep up. This seclusion is not a punishment. It's time to prepare. The world requires you to be strong, and strength is developed at times when no one is around to cheer you on. When the acclaim fades and the audience disperses, you are left with the naked reality of who you are and what you are capable of. It is at these times that you develop resilience. Resilience cannot be taught, it must be earned. People often want connection and belonging, but the selected ones discover that not all company is good company. The wrong people may wear you down, not because they're terrible, but because their perspective is too narrow. They perceive limitations, but you see potential. They cling to comfort while you pursue advancement. Staying in their world would entail lowering your brightness in order to make them comfortable. You go alone not because you want to, but because your fate requires it. Still, there's a latent strength in that alone, free of the distractions of other people's worries and concerns. You can hear your own voice more clearly. Your instincts sharpen, and your attention becomes more intense. You begin to realize that isolation is not empty. It is freedom. Freedom from expectations. Freedom from judgment. Freedom to become the person you were always intended to be. So, definitely, the chosen one's road might be lonely. However, loneliness is not a burden. It's a call, because the view from a summit is intended for those who are strong enough to make the trip, even if they must do so alone. Number 3, you're a walking disturbance of the status quo. Your entire presence poses a danger to the current quo. Without attempting, you disturb the rhythms that others rely on for comfort. Most people live by unstated norms and blend in. Play it safe. Don't aim too high. But you breach the rules just by being yourself. Your drive, confidence, and unwillingness to compromise defy the unseen boundaries others have established for themselves. It's not like you're attempting to prove something. You're just reluctant to live a life dominated by dread. And that thinking is harmful for individuals who are still plagued by their own uncertainties. People notice a difference when you enter a room, not because you're loud or attention-seeking, but because your energy is purposeful. It's the type of presence that shakes someone who's gotten used to mediocrity. They see you taking chances that they were too scared to take. They watch you pursue ambitions they thought were unachievable. Many people feel exposed rather than motivated because you can break away from the constraints they accepted. What does this imply about their choices? This disturbance is why you face opposition. People don't argue because you're incorrect. They resist because you make them reconsider the life they've settled for. Your accomplishment calls into question the long-standing explanations they've used. It causes them to face a reality they would rather ignore. They could have more if they were ready to go outside their comfort zone. However, changes are unpleasant. Most people would sooner condemn you than experience the pain themselves. However, this disturbance is your greatest strength. You are not born to fit in. You were created to question what others consider normal. While some may dislike you for it, others may be encouraged to overcome their own restrictions. Because, deep down, everyone desires the freedom you discovered. The freedom to live life on your own terms, without apologies or permission. And it is a power nobody can ignore, no matter how hard they try. Number 4, your detractors are your most devoted audience. Haters may not cheer for you, but they never miss a concert. Their curiosity is unrelenting. They monitor your every action, examine your choices, and watch your growth with a zeal that even your fans cannot equal. The irony is that they are unaware that their infatuation increases your exposure every time they mention your name, whether in criticism or rumor. They keep you relevant. Their murmurs turn into free PR, extending your narrative far beyond what you could have done alone. But why are they so watchful? It isn't simply jealousy, it's fascination. They wonder what makes you unique. How do you stay going despite setbacks? Why do you succeed? Or have others given up? They are attracted to your strength, even if they don't confess it. The negativity is not about you. It's about how frustrated they are with themselves. Watching you triumph encourages them to face their own uncertainties and wasted possibilities. It is simpler to criticize you than to confront their own reflection, yet their focus works in your advantage. The more they observe, the more they emphasize your existence. Even their efforts to bring you down might pique others' interest. People begin to wonder, who is this person that everyone is talking about? Curiosity leads to discoveries, and soon long, you've gathered new fans. All thanks to those who want to see you fail. This is why you should never spend your energy fighting back. Allow their passion to drive your momentum. Every nasty remark is confirmation that you're doing something worthwhile, and every minute they spend focusing on you is a moment they aren't working to better themselves. Finally, proving them incorrect isn't the best way to get retribution. You're proving yourself correct. So let them watch. Allow them to speak. Just be sure to give them something to speak about. Number 5, success seems like a betrayal to people who are left behind as you ascend. You don't just alter your life. You alter the dynamics of all the relationships around you. People who previously felt like equals now perceive you as a reminder of their unrealized potential. It's not like you betrayed them. It's that your success emphasizes the decisions they didn't make, the risks they didn't take, and the ambitions they silently let go of. Every milestone you achieve seems like a quiet inquiry. Why not them? And that question is difficult to ignore. Initially, the adjustment was subtle. Friends who used to cheer for you have grown aloof. Conversations seem forced, as if your accomplishments are the unsaid elephant in the room. Some others may discount your accomplishment, claiming it was due to chance or timing rather than hard effort. Others may view your aspirations as impractical, not because they believe it, but because recognizing that success is conceivable requires addressing the reality that they settled. Family members may also sense it. Your development may contradict their notions of who you are meant to be. They can be concerned that success would alter you, or worse, that it will spotlight what they never sought themselves. It is not about jealousy. It's about the anxiety of being left behind, of being in the same spot while moving ahead. But here is the reality. You cannot reduce your own size in order to make others comfortable. Success does not come with permission slips. If your growth causes distance, it is not because you have changed. It's because you've outgrown the version of yourself they were used to. Staying tiny will not get them closer. It will only prevent you from being who you were intended to be. The people that are intended to be in your life will grow with you. They will celebrate your victories without seeing them as defeats. And some who cannot. Their path is not yours to repair. You are not accountable for their decisions, only yours. So keep rising. Those that genuinely belong in your life will find a way to join you at the top. Number 6, mediocrity will turn morality against you. When you refuse to accept an ordinary existence, others will find methods to make you feel bad for seeking more. They will mask their dread of ambition as moral superiority, accusing you of being selfish for pursuing your ambitions, or arrogant because you believe you can do them. It's not that they struggle with success. It's that your achievement makes others examine their own constraints. And the simplest way to avoid that unpleasantness is to make you feel wrong for reaching higher. Society enjoys praising humility, yet it is often exploited to keep individuals tiny. Be humble, they say, but what they truly mean is, don't outshine us. Your confidence tests their feeling of security. Your ambition reminds them of the dangers they were unwilling to accept. Instead of confronting these facts, they portray your motivation as a defect. They'll claim you've changed once you start winning, as if growing were something to be ashamed of. They'll call you too much if your zeal interrupts their complacency. Even achievement becomes suspect once you reach the pinnacle. People believe you must have taken shortcuts or trodden on others to get there. The concept that you earned your success via hard effort is more difficult to accept since, if that's true, what's preventing them from succeeding even more? It's simpler to assume that ambition and morals are incompatible. But this is what they don't grasp. Pursuing your dreams is not selfish. It is essential. Playing small does not benefit anybody. Reducing your dreams does not help others feel better. It just restricts what you can give the world. Success empowers you to create, inspire, and give back in ways that mediocrity cannot. So, when others attempt to make you feel guilty about wanting more, realize that their judgment is based on their own anxieties, not yours. Never apologize for pursuing your potential. The world does not need any more people settling for less. It needs more individuals like you who are ready to demonstrate what is possible when you refuse to play small. Number 7. Failure isn't a danger. It's your practice ground. Most individuals dread failure because they see it as evidence that they are not good enough. However, selected ones perceive failure as a starting point for success rather than a goal in itself. Every setback, error, and rejection is a lesson disguised as failure. Each misstep sharpens your talents, boosts your resilience, and shows what doesn't work so you can focus on what does. Failure removes the illusion of perfection, pushing you to face your flaws square on. But rather than breaking you, it strengthens you. It teaches you how to adapt, think imaginatively, and go beyond what you believed was possible. Every time you fall and get back up, you gain strength, wisdom, and determination. Failure does not define you. It refines you. This is what distinguishes you from the average. Most individuals give up at the first indication of failure because they see it as a dead end. However, you recognize that failing is part of the process. Each failure tests your will to achieve your objectives. Will you stop or learn and try again? The chosen ones do not fear failure because they understand that it is just temporary. Success does not mean never failing. It is about refusing to remain down. Failure also shows who you really are. It removes extraneous noise, praise, criticism, and expectations, revealing your actual self. Do you continue to believe in your vision when no one else does? Do you continue to press on when nothing seems to be working? It is at times of uncertainty that you realize your inner power. This is the type of power that cannot be taught, but must be gained. Here's the ultimate secret. Every successful person you respect has failed several times. The difference was that they refused to be discouraged by failure. They utilized it as motivation, feedback, and confirmation that they were stretching their boundaries. So, when defeat knocks you down, don't consider it a setback. View it as a stepping stone, because each failure brings us closer to the breakthrough that will alter everything. Number 8. Authenticity is your strongest weapon. Authenticity is uncommon in a society preoccupied with appearances. To escape criticism, most individuals wear masks and say what others want to hear, perform what is expected of them, and hide their genuine selves. But you present yourself as raw, unedited, and completely authentic. And this is why you are unstoppable. Pretenders may shine for a minute, but when pressured, their masks crumble. In contrast, authenticity is pressure-proof. When adversity strikes, you don't break. You succeed because you don't depend on a character. You're standing on the firm foundation of who you actually are. In a world of manufactured grins and polished facades, people believe what is true. Your honesty sticks out. It's why people draw towards you. They can tell you are not fake it. Your remarks are credible since they are based on experience rather than artifice. Your acts are inspiring because they are driven by passion rather than performance. And that level of sincerity is alluring. It attracts the appropriate people into your life, those that value your truth, not simply your appearance. But here's why honesty is harmful. It cannot be controlled. Pretenders may be influenced because they want acceptance. But you do not require anyone's approval. Your confidence does not stem from applause. It stemmed from understanding who you are and what you stand for. That scares those who depend on control to keep their power. They cannot persuade someone who has refused to play by their rules. Of course, being authentic comes at a cost. Some individuals will despise you merely because your candor reveals their deception. Your confidence will challenge those who use uncertainty to keep others small. However, their suffering is not your concern. Pretending to be something you are not. You could get temporary approval. However, being unapologetic about yourself wins you long-term respect and, more significantly, self-respect. Ultimately, authenticity is more than simply a weapon. It serves as your protective barrier. It shields you from the desire to conform, the fear of being judged, and the pressure to be someone other than who you were born to be. And the freedom is the greatest benefit. Number 9, your vision will be mocked until it is realized. People dread what they don't comprehend. Nothing puzzles them more than someone who has a vision that they cannot see. When you set out to accomplish something amazing, be prepared for laughter, uncertainty, and countless questioning. Why would you attempt that? What makes you believe you can accomplish it? They aren't inquiring because they are intrigued. They're asking because your desire threatens their perceptions of what's feasible. Most individuals believe in achievement only after seeing tangible results. Until then, they stick to their doubts because it's simpler to scorn what they don't understand than to consider the possibility of success. Your aspirations make people face the limitations of their own imagination. That's unpleasant. So they attempt to drag you back down to their level by using reasoning, fear, and criticism to keep you grounded. Not because they want to keep you from failing, but because your success will show them incorrect. But here is the reality. Their consent is not necessary. Every historical breakthrough began with mockery. The greatest inventors, artists, and leaders were all mocked before they were celebrated. Why? Because looking beyond the present demands a vision that the majority of people lack. You aren't following a map. Yes, they are. But you're forging a new road where none previously existed. Of course, they don't see it since they weren't supposed to. The vision was given to you, not to them. So let them doubt. Let them chuckle. Your job is not to persuade anybody. It's to prove oneself correct. And as your idea becomes a reality, the laughing will convert to applause. The naysayers will suddenly recall how they had always believed in you. However, by then, their views will be irrelevant since the only confirmation you need was your own confidence that what you see in your head is feasible in the real world. Don't wait for others to grasp your vision. Continue to create it until it is irrefutable, since the only difference between being labeled insane and being hailed genius is success, which is simply a question of time. Number 10. Envy is unavoidable when you transcend the group attitude. Conformity is valued in society because it makes people predictable and simple to govern. Most individuals follow the same script. Acquire a steady job, stay safe, and never dream too large. It is pleasant, it's familiar, but it is also a trap. And once you break free, you become a danger. Not because you've done anything wrong, but because your success calls into question the decisions others have made when you refuse to settle for an ordinary existence. People notice you at first and may applaud for you until you start exceeding their expectations. Suddenly, your victories appear personal to them, as if your success reveals their faults. As you advance, it becomes increasingly difficult for people to overlook the gap between where they are and where they might be. Instead, use your achievement as incentive. Some people use jealousy as a defense. Envy is seldom loud. It's subtle. It manifests itself in backhanded compliments, snide comments, and distant connections that gradually disappear. People may seem to be helpful in public, but behind closed doors, they wonder why you are successful while they remain trapped. They tell themselves that you must have had it easier or that you were fortunate, since recognizing that your success is the product of hard effort would require them to face their own excuses. But here's something they don't realize. Their envy demonstrates that you've broken free. You've pushed yourself beyond what society expected of you. And when they criticize you, they disclose their own concerns. The dread of taking chances, standing out, and pursuing ambitions that may not come true. Your job isn't to make them feel welcome. You didn't come this far to return to their concept of normal. Allow their jealousy to fuel your enthusiasm. Every side look, every muttered doubt proves that you're doing something they can't ignore. So keep going. Allow them to observe, because nothing irritates envy more than seeing you achieve and knowing there is nothing they can do to stop it. First and foremost, your grief is the currency of your power. Pain destroys most individuals. It makes people resentful, afraid, and trapped in a cycle of what-ifs. However, agony is not the same for the selected ones. It does not break you. It strengthens you. Every challenge, heartache, and defeat has created a layer of fortitude wrapped around your spirit. You've learned to convert adversity into fuel, and this metamorphosis is what makes you unbeatable. Your perseverance was not created out of comfort. It was built in times when life knocked you down and you had to choose whether to remain broken or get back up. Each time you choose to ascend, you gain strength. Not only physical, but also cerebral and emotional. Pain taught you things that success never could. How to cope when everything goes apart. How to keep going when others would stop. And how to believe in yourself even when no one else does. But here's what makes your agony so intense. It links you with others. People may fake confidence, but they cannot fake resilience when others witness the strength you have developed through adversity. They are attracted to you not because you are flawless, but because you demonstrate that survival is possible. Your scars serve as a route map for others who are still waging conflicts, teaching children that sorrow does not have to define them. It is capable of refining them. Of course, not everyone will admire your strength. Some may dislike you because your perseverance reminds them of the strength they haven't yet discovered. Others may attempt to belittle your path, as if your accomplishment was somehow simpler. But they were not there while you were battling in silence, rebuilding yourself piece by piece. They did not witness the nights you grieved, the uncertainties you faced, or the sacrifices you made. So their perspectives are irrelevant in the end. Pain is the price you must pay for power, the type of power that cannot be purchased or faked. It is the reason you can overcome obstacles that would shatter others. And that is why, no matter what life throws at you next, you will confront it with the unwavering confidence that you have previously endured worse and emerged stronger each time. Number 12. Your success is their justification for stagnation. Some folks will miss out on your hard work as you advance. They will find a reason to remain stranded. It's simpler for them to assume you have an unfair edge than to confront their own actions. They persuade themselves you were fortunate, had better connections, or began with greater wealth. Why? Because recognizing that your achievement comes from dedication and sacrifice would make them wonder why they're still standing still. It is not impossible for them to succeed. They haven't decided to, and your growth acts as a mirror they would rather avoid. These tales serve as their prisons, teaching people that success is exclusively for the wealthy few. They relieve themselves of the burden to attempt. They claim that if I had the same opportunities as they, I would be as successful. However, they do not witness the late hours, disappointments, and times when leaving would have been easy. They disregard the times you showed up despite fear, uncertainty, and failure. Your achievement is not the result of chance. It is the outcome of decisions they were unwilling to make. But here is the reality. Their justifications have absolutely nothing to do with you. Your path demonstrates that progress is possible. But not everyone is prepared to hear that. It is simpler to criticize your outcomes than to evaluate their own behavior. Some may attempt to downplay your accomplishments to make themselves feel better. Don't make their story your burden. You cannot open their cages. Keep soaring. Your accomplishment does not constitute a danger. It is an invitation. Those who want to break free from their restrictions will find encouragement in your path. The others will stick to their justifications. But it is their decision, not yours. You aren't here to defend your accomplishment. You're here to experience it. Number 13, comfort is a trap used to keep you ordinary. Comfort is enticing. It suggests that you've accomplished enough and should calm down. Pursuing more is too hazardous. It offers security, predictability, and convenience. But underneath this warm embrace lurks a hidden cost: stagnation. The world wants you to be comfortable because comfortable people are easier to manipulate. They adhere to routines, avoid risks, and seldom challenge the status quo. But you weren't born to blend in. You were born to make a breakthrough. And that necessitates venturing beyond the boundaries of comfort into the. Growth occurs only when you accept suffering. Every breakthrough, every leap ahead, is the result of overcoming fear, uncertainty, and opposition. Discomfort is when your boundaries are pushed and stretched. It's the place where your cerebral and emotional muscles are strengthened. The agony of acquiring a new skill. When faced with rejection or following a desire, some have doubts. That's where metamorphosis occurs. Every moment of difficulty transforms you into a version of yourself that ease could never create. The world wants to keep you average by offering you the illusion of a typical existence, a consistent employment, a predictable schedule, and aspirations that conform to society's standards. However, regular is not your destiny. The fully awakened version of yourself, the one that welcomes challenges, takes chances, and refuses to settle, is invincible. And you can't manage that version of yourself since they don't care what others think. Discomfort is not the enemy. It's your compass. If something terrifies you, challenges you, or pushes you past your perceived limits, there's where your development rests. The dread of failing, criticism stings, the uncertainty of these are signals that you're heading in the correct way. So, while others seek comfort, you pursue progress. While they like ease, you choose expansion. And while others stay confined to their comfort zones, you break free. Becoming the person you were born to be, not the person society attempted to shape you into. Embrace discomfort is the price of greatness. Number 14, you cannot change your fate. There's a reason why your dreams refuse to leave you alone. They are not random. They are part of your destiny. And no amount of doubt, sabotage, or delay can undo what you're destined to do. The cosmos does not implant images in your heart only to taunt you. Those aspirations are roadmaps to the life you're meant to live. And no impediment, critic, or failure can change what's already been written for you. People will question you, but their views have no influence on your journey. Doubt may slow you down, but it will not stop you. Sabotage may slow your progress, but it cannot derail your goals. Even your own setbacks, the times when you doubt yourself, are part of the strategy. Every setback, detour, and closed door is leading you to where you're supposed to be. Nothing is wasted. Nothing is accidental. The universe does not make errors, and neither do you. When you move with purpose, your actions are aligned with your vision. The doors open. That reasoning cannot understand. Resources emerge. Opportunities emerge. And individuals appear at just the perfect moment. It's not luck. It's an alignment. The more you trust your path, the more the universe bends to accommodate you. However, destiny does not arrive without struggle. The closer you get to your goal, the more obvious the hurdles become. Fear attempts to tell you that you aren't enough. Critics attempt to persuade you that you will fail. Circumstances that want to keep you away. However, none of these can alter what has already been stated. The cosmos is not determining your value. It puts your beliefs to the test. Do you believe in your vision enough to keep trying even when nothing appears to be working? Do you trust in your destiny enough to disregard the noise? The response must be yes, since your future is irreversible, regardless of how long it takes. No matter how many times you fall, what is intended for you will eventually find you if you refuse to give up. The world cannot refute what is already yours. All you need to do is keep going. Book's conclusion. In a culture that often encourages conformity while punishing ambition, being selected is both a privilege and a curse. You move differently because you perceive different boundaries than others. You see potential. They are afraid to fail. You accept it as fuel. And while others seek comfort, you embrace difficulty, understanding that progress occurs only outside of the routine. Your detractors are not hurdles. They are spectators. Their reservations, jealousy, and criticism are nothing more than reflections of their own shortcomings. Their remarks cannot impact you since they do not comprehend your journey. Allow them to witness as you convert their doubt into momentum and their disbelief into drive. The louder their doubts, the more your achievement will amplify your anguish. Setbacks and challenges were never intended to break you. They were supposed to mold you. Every scar demonstrates your perseverance. Every failure demonstrates your bravery. And every time you decided to ascend when it would have been simpler to give up, you honed your skills and became invincible. Your honesty is your most powerful weapon, since the world cannot control what it cannot define. And your vision, no matter how misinterpreted, will ultimately be obvious. However, keep in mind that your fate cannot be changed. No amount of uncertainty, delay, or opposition can undo what you were designed to do. The cosmos does not make errors, and neither do you. When you walk with purpose, the obstacles you encounter are not hurdles. They serve as stepping stones to help you become the best version of yourself, required to carry out your mission. So, go confidently in your power. Let their whispers feed your fire. Allow their skepticism to enhance your concentration. And when they wonder how you accomplished it, tell them that you never asked for permission. You are always going to climb. If this message struck a chord with you, remember to subscribe to the channel and enable alerts so you never miss out on what comes next. Hit the like button to express your support and leave a comment below. I want to hear about your opinions, experiences, and how you're getting beyond the noise to achieve your objectives. And if you know someone who needs a reminder, please share this video and spread the word. Thank you for your love, support, and energy so far. Every day, our community becomes stronger as a result of your efforts, and I am really pleased to have you on board. Until next time, remain unstoppable. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe for more. If you're enjoying the content on Pure Wisdom and find value in the messages we share, I encourage you to subscribe. Based on the latest analytics, 93.9% of viewers are watching without subscribing. By subscribing, you not only stay updated with new content, but also support the channel's growth, allowing us to continue spreading wisdom for the chosen ones. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an important message. Let's build this community together.